Thanks for joining this episode of The Blade Boys. My name is Ted Flett,
And I'm Mitas.
and we're going to do a summary now of three events: the Ondrej Nepela, the Finlandia Trophy, and the 2015 Autumn Classic here in Canada, as sort of a nutshell wrap or a look fully at first the ladies event. We're going to look at the ladies discipline in all three. And Myth, I think this is kind of an exciting time of the season because it's early and the bright lights aren't on just yet, but we do get sort of our first glimpses of skaters' programs, conditioning after the summer, where they're at, and it's kind of a neat time.
hmm well, as you saw in Nebelhorn, there's some great comebacks that are coming from a lot of skaters who we haven't seen in a while, and also skaters from last year who might not have done so well that are just trying to like sort of prove themselves again this year. And as we sort of go towards the 2018 Olympics, we're starting to see skaters establish themselves, and we're even seeing a couple newcomers as well who may, in the next couple years, kind of stake their claim to the podium. I mean, you never know. A lot can happen in like a couple years. So, and a lot of Olympic success is all about timing and peaking at the right time. So, right now, I think skaters are looking to establish themselves in this season, in this second of I guess 4 seasons in this quadrennial, and
Yep.
this started with Nebelhorn as part of the Challenger Series. But now a couple weekends ago, we had the Ondrej Nepela Trophy, and that features some of the world's top skaters, including Evgenia Medvedeva. And I told you, Ted, like
You
this
like this
girl.
girl.
I like this girl because I'm a stickler for like girls who and guys and skaters in general who like really push for technical difficulty. And Evgenia is one of those skaters. She definitely knows how to like use the system to her full advantage. In her short program, she puts all three jumping passes in the second half. Although I don't know why her triple triple for whatever reason wasn't counted as a bonus, even though it was well after the bonus.
Mm.
Whatever, she still won. And in the free skate, she also maximizes her points by like including her triple style, triple toe combination, and having more Tanos than I think Brian Boitano ever did in his career collectively. Like if you play a drinking game with Evgenia Medvedeva every time she does a Tano, you will be like
Plastered.
pretty schmammered by, and that's like by the second half. Like there's still a lot to go. So she has like 4 or 5 Tanos in there, and it's I think a lot of people there's a bit of debate about if she overdoes it, but it's kind of a signature thing. And hey, if it increases grade of execution, then why not do it, right? And
Yeah,
I think she does it because she
I'm
can.
convinced. Yeah, I'm convinced that she learned her first waltz jump like in this position. Like she did. The coach did not teach her how to just keep her arms in at her chest.
Mhm. But like regardless, I think she had two really good programs. They're a bit similar in sentiment. Like they're kind of that like flowy classical, and her dresses are well, they're very much dresses, right? Like they're, I don't know. I like to see a little bit more youthfulness. She is a very fun, spunky skater, and we've seen in her exhibitions and in her practices and stuff that she has that like vivacity. So it kind of would be nice to, not entirely try to like bring on the maturity. I know she's trying to do that this season because that's how you get in the judges' favor. But like still say innocent, still say fun. And but this was still a great win for her. She had that freak fall on the triple flip, which like never happens. But like other than that, she was pretty solid for her programs. And I think this was a great start. I think this sets herself up really nicely for her Grand Prix series, and she's going to be one of those skaters to watch out for, especially come Russian nationals. She was third last year, but now like that she's a senior, she's going to get higher components. So there's a good chance that she will be actually one of the favorites this season. Uh,
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to be an interesting threat. I feel like she's sort of the Russian skater of this season who a lot of doesn't have a ton of maturity, doesn't have a lot of experience, doesn't have buckets of finesse or entertainment value, but can pump out the jumps and crank up the grade of execution on almost
Yeah.
every technical element, that the program component score become sort of unnecessary or irrelevant because of the strength of the technical mark. And this is a sort of skater that Ashley Wagner, for example, has. I mean, she hasn't named her, but Ashley has been very specific in saying that the edge that she has or older skaters have is their maturity, and if they can really milk their maturity and the performance value and choose music and programs that have a performance quality to set themselves apart, that's an important way to distinguish themselves from these sort of bouncing ballerinas. And I think Medvedeva will be certainly one of them. I was actually fairly impressed with Anna Pogorelaya, who had a really awful short program, like disastrous short program, could hardly contain her tears in the kiss and cry. I thought she was going to walk right off of it. It was just uncomfortable to see that. Oh man, she's having like this season again. But she came back really strong in the free skate. She had one sort of unfortunate wipeout, but probably good because you don't want to skate lights out this early in the season. But she had an excellent free skate that sort of helped evoke who she was in the 2014 season when she got that world spot after Sotnikova didn't go to the World Championships after winning the Olympic Games, the individual event. So that was nice to see, and I was impressed. I don't know that Scheherazade is quite the ideal fit for her in terms of long program music, but it will probably grow on me. And yeah, I was impressed with her skate.
Yeah, I think this was a really good competition for Anna because she has a tendency after like a bad performance to like she has a trouble with nerves. Like she has all the talent in the world. She can bust out her triple triples and her triple Salchow series like nobody else can. The problem is she seizes up, and that usually tends to affect the rest of the performance. And what I noticed about obviously her short program was a disaster, but thankfully she had a free program where she bounced back and managed to be on the podium and land. I think it was six triples, something like that.
Yeah, six triples.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, but I noticed that even with the error, like the major error in her free skate, she was still smiling at the end. Like she understood that like she maintained the level of performance. I noticed her spins are a lot better. Like that tended to be like almost a glaring weakness of hers in years past, and I think now she's learned to control them a little bit better. So that's an improvement that I've seen. And I don't know, like you say Scheherazade isn't necessarily the right vehicle. I actually think it is, because Firebird last year, for some reason, like it just fell flat to me. I mean, she had
the cuts were terrible.
The cuts were terrible, and when she didn't nail her opening passes, the program would just like fall flat. But this Scheherazade, I think, actually really showcases kind of a more fun side of her. And like Anna used to have this kind of like ice princess, ice queen sort of demeanor. Like she was very all business. But like now I think she's getting more into her programs. And one thing I first noticed about Anna when she came on the scene was she has really good skating skills. Like the edges she can, especially if you look at her exhibition programs, the edges she can generate and like the deepness and like the quality is really really there. And I found her programs in yesteryears where she would rush through, and as a result, she wouldn't showcase those wonderful skating qualities. But I think with this program, she does have some nice transitions. She does have some nice edge work, especially in the footwork sequence. And I think now she's really starting to play to her strengths. And she's actually she actually like nailed it, I think, in her free skate compared to her short program. She definitely like had a comeback, and that's a really positive thing for her that she can have going into the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, this was a Russian sweep. Maria Artemieva, she completed the Russian sweep. She's kind of an older skater, like older, as in she's 22 years old, and she's been on the scene for a while. Competed at a lot of Russian nationals, and she's gonna have a Grand Prix event later this year. I think it's NHK, and it's been a while since she's really been on the scene. But hey, good for her for medaling here. It wasn't her best performance by any means, and she is capable of doing the tough triple combinations. We just didn't really see much of that here.
Mm.
But hey, it's a good confidence booster for her. And in fourth place, obviously we have our hometown girl, Miss Gabby Daleman, and like I'm so proud of Gabby because she first of all got a personal best in her short program and a personal best total overall. Almost got matched a personal best in her free skate. But the important thing was she put in a personal best level short program and a personal best level free skate. And
Mm-hmm.
her short program, yes, the triple toe on the triple toe was a bit under rotated. But the important thing I noticed was that the quality of her skating is better. Often she'd come out into and I love this about her. She would start her programs like a bat out of hell. She just kind of have this like
Yeah.
untamed energy, and sometimes it
Yeah.
was too much, and kind of like Caitlin Osman, and she would have to like rein it. Our Canadian girls, they got their energy. They had their Wheaties.
Yeah.
And so Gabby was able to sort of harness that energy a little bit and deliver a more sophisticated performance in both her short and her long program. And I think she should be really proud of what she's done. It's not, I think, her full potential, but it's a great start going into her Grand Prix season. And
I mean,
yeah,
I
so
think sort of the competition between the competitions to sort of get a sense of where the Canadians, where the Canadian girls sort of sitting amongst one another. Uh, Certainly, the big push. Caitlin pushed hard at Nebelhorn, signaling that she's back. Room for improvement and some things to smooth out, absolutely, in terms of some of the jumps, but she looks very strong and ready to reclaim her national title. And then 1 week later, Gabrielle pushed back and showed that she's also ready to go to battle and to skate well, and she's got the goods, and she's I wouldn't call her an artist yet, but she's continuing to evolve in that direction.
mhm. And
And
one thing about her, she's
and
a bit.
frankly, Gabby was up against much stiffer competition than Caitlin was up against at Nebelhorn. So I think for Gabby to come in fourth here is a very respectable finish. And then, as you say, with the personal best of her skate, I think it's really positive for her.
Yeah, and I think she like we were talking about this earlier that she's kind of more of an athletic skater. Like she's a bit of a Megan Duhamel type, where like she's like built. Like that girl
Yeah.
is a strong skater, and it's sometimes hard to like portray elegance and like finesse when you are that way. But I really noticed an improvement in these programs, and I hope that these that like she it seems like she's experiencing a nice comfort level with these programs, and I'm really looking forward to her season. I think she will have quite a battle against Alain Chartrand come nationals, and maybe even against Caitlin Osman. Everyone expects Osman to probably win nationals, but hey, these girls are.
I'm one of those people. I'll put my hand in there. I'm
I
like,
mean,
it's Caitlin
if
now.
you're a betting
Three-time Canadian champion. It's gonna happen.
if you're a betting person, Caitlin is a really safe bet. But that being said, like Alain and Gabby are capable of busting out some really great technical tricks. So you never know. But good for Gabby. And I think there's one more skater we need to talk about, and that's uh, she was a skater who skated at the Autumn Classic, and uh, she is actually getting a lot of buzz this year. Her name is Elizabeth Terzimbayeva, and she is from Kazakhstan, where our favorite Dennis Ten is from, and she is one of Brian Orser's students. And whenever he's your coach, good things are bound to happen. This girl can tack on a triple toe to pretty much any jump. She did a triple H triple toe in her short program. She did a triple style triple toe and a double axel triple toe in her free skate. She is a superstar in the making, and also great because she's from like Kazakhstan, which again is like not really known for skating other than like Dennis Ten, of course.
Yeah, sure.
And she's like a kid, right? Like she looks like one. She's a very young looking skater, so it's hard for her to portray maturity, but she does definitely have an elegance and a soft quality to her skating. And again, when you can bust out triple triples like nothing. And I think even last year she had a triple loop triple toe. So she can do if she ever misses a triple jump, she can just add a triple toe to a subsequent triple jump. So
Yeah,
it's nice.
totally.
It's nice
She's
to
pretty
know
adept at that.
she's
Yeah.
pretty adept at that, and I'm pretty sure with Brian Orser as her coach. she definitely has a bright future, and she's getting her Grand Prix out of the way immediately. So this is why she needs events like this. She's skating at Skate America and Skate Canada. So good luck to her. She's gonna have an early schedule, but maybe like Medvedeva with her technical proficiency, she can possibly make a big splash early on in the season.
Yeah, and you know what I used to always love? I mean, this is far too sort of early in her career to consider a strategy like this. But I used to love back in the day when the Grand Prix series was first sort of augmented by the final. Is that Michelle Kwan she'd do Skate America, Skate Canada, like right out of the gate. She'd win both. Blow the roof off the joint with new programs that were conditioned, artistic, fantastic, had everybody all excited, and then sort of lobbed off to the other four events like, all right, Russian ladies, try and top that, and let Irina or Maria or Sarah Hughes or Sasha Cohen or whoever were her competitors at the time to try and do better at the other events. And it was
Mm-hmm.
always this great strategy of like, come out big, come out strong, do really well, and then let the cards fall as they may with the other skaters, and then show up in that case, like 2 months later, the Grand Prix final, and then kick all their butts again, which she tended to do. So,
Michelle was pretty
but
good at
anyways,
that. So.
she was pretty good at that. But actually, we didn't. We also want to talk about Finlandia. Uh, so at Finlandia, Rika Hongo of Japan won both the short program and the long program to win the event. And I got to say, I was quite impressed with who she is today. I wasn't that blown away by Rika Hongo last season, but her short program music this year, here's a little bit of trivia for you. This is actually music that Keela owes, if you remember her from Canada
Oh
back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah, this
Miss
was
Keela.
Keela
Oh
O's
yeah.
short. This is Keela O's short program music in the 98-99 season, which she wasn't able to really skate it to its potential because I think Keela was still a skater in the making at that point in time,
Mm.
which didn't really come to fruition. But nonetheless, that's a bit of a sidetrack. But I always loved this short program music, and Rika Hongo found it, and she's got it going on, and I'm like, as soon as it came out, I was like, I love this music. Okay, yes, it's 20 years old and it's kind of old style Cirque du Soleil, but I think it's great music and I was really excited by it. It's got like a good, it gets you excited and at the edge of your seat. So
Yeah.
that was great to see her skate that and skate it quite well. And of course, she's got Riverdance, which I think we saw some glimpses of in exhibition performances over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few moments in Rika's long program where I thought, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz had clearly had their hand in the choreography. I mean, it looked like she was channeling Shaylin in terms of the head bobs and so forth. But I thought it was a really strong skate, and I think it's a program that it's a tough program to skate up to in terms of energy, and she generally does that. I think it's harder for her to stay on her toes. There's something about her style of skating that's quite sweeping and really edges into the ice that it's hard to kind of tap across it. But I thought it was a solid outing. What did you think?
Okay, well, firstly, I love Rika Hongo. Like, I think
Okay.
there's always that one Japanese skater who, like, you always kind of root for that isn't one of like the favorites like Mao or like Kanako or Satoko. Like, to me, she's kind of like the Akiko Suzuki of the Japanese ladies because she has really
Yeah.
talented skating skills. And she is kind of one of those hardworking skaters that is a little bit underrated in my mind. Like I think at Worlds last year, she got the judges kind of didn't really give her the marks that she deserved at that point. But this year, like I love her programs. I think like I'm a huge fan of Cirque du Soleil, and like Kidam is one of my favorite shows of theirs. And
Hmm. Hmm.
so for her to do that number from that is great. And obviously, Riverdance Reel Around the Sun is such a iconic piece of music. Jason Brown did it, and of course, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. You can sort of see their influence. But the important thing is that somebody like Rika Hongo can handle that type of music because she has the skating skills. She can get the level 4 step sequence and she can weave it all together. And she has this very aggressive take no prisoners approach to her jumping. Like she'll never kind of give 50%. Like she's one of
Hmm.
those skaters that even if the jumps aren't working, she still really tries to deliver a solid program. And I hope the judges like give her credit because she's just fighting to like get above 60 component scores in like the free skate, and I think she deserves a lot more given the content she does. She has gotten rid of the LUTs, at least according to the technical specialists at Finlandia, which is good because the Fluts is a severe deduction,
Yeah.
and it cost her a higher spot at Worlds, I think, last
Mm.
year. So her triple again, it's still a bit under rotated, and maybe she should consider for a short program trying an easier triple like a triple toe, because that would get more points. Or I mean, it's sad because even a triple double would get about the same points as a triple under rotated. That being said, kudos to her for going for it. She's kind of like an Ashley Wagner in that sense of like, I might not rotate it entirely, but like I'm gonna go for it and show the judges that I'm still gonna give it my all and attempt to win.
So in second place with Yulia Lipnitskaya from Russia, who really has not skated up to the standard that she set in Sochi in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a tough skater kind of to watch, and her comeback seems to be a sputtering one this season.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with her short program to Elvis, the dress was
That
like
dress, oh my god,
it was
girl,
like
it was
a
like Pride on Ice, like that
Yeah,
was.
it was like a visual overload. Like I didn't really know where to look, and it was that was just intense. Definitely, it's a look at me dress, but you don't quite know where to look. And she also had the big bobbing ponytail, which will take some getting used to because she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
usually have that. And her hair also seemed quite dark, so she went through a bit of a makeover. It seems in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on a sort of a difficult, short program to get through. The choice of music, Elvis, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know that it really suits her yet. Um, I guess she's trying to push the boundaries in terms of her artistry and performance value and so forth. But yeah, she's got some growth there, I think, to do. The long program really showed, in just the costuming really showed that this is a skater who's, she's she's filling out. She's a bigger. She looks tougher and sturdier now as her body changes as she gets into her teens, and hopefully she'll eventually be able to back that up with a bit more, a bit stronger posture and better speed, and perhaps lift on her jumps so that they're more secure and she can bring back their consistency. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think Yulia unfortunately did not have the debut this season that she wanted. She messed up her triple in the short program, and her long program was a disaster where she only landed three triples. It's definitely not the comeback that she was hoping for. Uh, and yeah, I think her body. She's having a struggle with her body now. Like she's going through like puberty, and it is affecting her her overall movement. It's definitely affecting her jumps. Like especially considering she very often relied on rotation and kind of getting spinning like a top to be able to like complete the rotation on
Yeah.
her jumps. And even her spins I found were like, and the judges noticed it too with less grade of execution, slightly less grade of execution. They're not as sharp as we've seen from her before. Like, uh, I mean, it really just all looked like a struggle to her, and the choreography it wasn't her best. There's just a bit of a sluggishness to this particular competition. I think Yulia will pick up her socks come the Grand Prix. I mean, she has to because there's a lot of talented Russian skaters coming up, and as we saw at nationals last year, like doesn't matter even if she's an Olympic champion and world silver medalist, like they'll put you in ninth if you don't deliver like the technical goods. And
Yeah.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Yulia, but it's not it's I don't know. It's not looking the most optimistic at this point, but we are rooting for her to come back because obviously she's a fabulous skater and she has some interesting like program choices. I think Elvis, um, it wasn't great in the first half of the program. When she gets into the footwork and she kind of gets into the personality of the program, I think that's what I really loved about it, and I hope she can bring that to the rest of the program. But the rest of the program, she's also kind of focusing on jumps as well, and it's that age old like, do I look focused or do I actually get into the character of my program? And I love how she does that in the footwork sequence, but at that point, it was a bit too little, too late because she had already made the error, and like she just wasn't selling her programs as well as she can. But again, it's early in the season, and she's on the comeback trail, so it's still too early to say really like what's gonna become of her. But like her component scores are still good. Like I like the judges gave her 61 points of component
Yep.
scores, which
Yep.
I don't agree with because like if you don't deliver the technical goods and if you're not delivering a program and like it's just not you're just kind of like falling a bit flat, then
Yeah, she doesn't look very emotionally connected or committed to
yeah.
program, the spirit of it, and so forth. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough season for her only because I think Russian nationals are usually before the end of the year, so
Hmm.
she's got till the end of December to get herself set up for Russian nationals. They might, if she doesn't capitalize on Russian nationals, but she wins the judges' favor in some way, the federation might send her to Europeans for
Hmm.
sort of a final look before determining of her competition in Russia. She needs to, as you say, pick up her socks and pull up her socks pretty quickly
Yeah.
for the Grand Prix event
Well, she can. She's got the
to gain
flexibility,
some
right? So
attention.
she can pull her socks up way over her head if she wants to.
Totally, she can
She
pull them
can
down
she can pull it
and
down. Yeah, she
pull
tie it
them down
around her
and still
head.
pull
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
them. Yeah,
But we wish her all the luck, and like she's she's for a long time she's always been like one of my favorite skaters to watch, and I hope it's hard because she's trying to get her jumps back, but now she's also trying to project a more mature side as well. Like she'll have to, but like she's definitely not the 70 component scores that she got in like Sochi. She's now like that's been brought down, but like even still, like if you're not delivering technical goods, like judges, you gotta like be fair to these skaters. Which kind of brings me to a quick point. Yoshi Helgeson from Sweden, she managed to clinch the bronze here, but I actually thought, like with her five triple long program, she arguably could have come second, and I think Lipnitskaya's components advantage over her, like, still kept her in that bronze medal position. But it was still a good skate for Helgeson, and she had a pretty decent short program at Ondrej Nepala as well. So if she can put two and two together, she can maybe make a bit more of a splash at Europeans, and I don't know, maybe even well, I don't want to say push for the podium because that's probably going to be a Russian 1, 2, 3. But it's still nice to see that she's a lot more consistent than she was last season. So
yeah,
good for
yeah.
her too.
Yep. That really, concludes our look at the ladies' event from those three events: the Ondrej Nepala, the Finlandia Trophy, and the Autumn Classic. So, thanks so much for watching this episode. Myth and I were pretty excited this week that we hit over 50,000 views of our combined videos on our channel on YouTube. So, thanks so much for that, for watching these sorts of summaries, these episodes, as well as some of our practice clips and interviews and competition clips from Horn Trophy, and follow us on Twitter, follow
Yeah.
us on Facebook, or like us on Facebook. We're there on social media, capturing what we can and sharing our insights where we can. Anything
And
else you want to add, Myth?
no, just keep commenting because we love responding to your comments. We love to hear what you guys have to say because like it just builds up this preseason buzz, and we're just as excited as you guys. So let us know what you think, and check out some of the other disciplines for these Challenger Series and Autumn Classic events as well.
Awesome.
So
Thanks so much for watching.
thanks very much for watching.